Harry enters a world he never knew existed. Goblins, vaults full of gold, wand cores made from phoenix feathers. But what if the HBO series takes? We made it to episode 3 of the new HBO Harry Potter series, and my vision for what we should include in these episodes. It's very interesting reading your comments, so thank you very much. And it also gives me that extra push to make the next episode, so keep those coming. We're going to be entering Diagon Alley, and we're going to be talking about all the shops that they've missed. I feel like there's so much we can do with this episode. I am dragging the episodes out a bit because I want them to last longer. There's only 8 episodes in total, and right now we're on episode 3, entering Diagon Alley. I haven't got my timing right, have I? But hopefully it gives us more time together and lets us, because we've got a long time before the release. 2027 is when the Harry Potter is going to be released, and now it's 2025, so we've got 2 years worth of wait. Hopefully we can fill that time with our theories in the meantime. Quick update on what's going on so far. A number of cast has been announced. We know who's playing Hagrid, we know who a couple of the key characters are, we know who the famous 3 are. So if you've missed all of that, I'll put up a little update on my screen now. You can see some of there's quite a lot, so I don't want to bring too much of that into this episode because we have got a lot to get through. Let's get on to my thoughts for what I think should be in episode 3, my vision for Harry Potter new HBO series, the Diagon Alley entrance. The journey to Diagon Alley. Harry enters a world he never knew existed. Goblins, vaults full of gold, wand cores made from phoenix feathers. But what if the HBO series takes this even further? Today I break down everything episode 3 should include. So we left off on episode 2 with the Hagrid rescuing Harry. I feel like the hut, Hagrid rescuing him, then them having the train journey. The movie jumps almost immediately to Diagon Alley, skipping a lot of emotional development between Hagrid and Harry. They sail back to mainland, they stop for food. There's some key elements there which could build on that relationship a little bit. It'd be nice to see Hagrid buy Harry some food. I think it's the calf, the sausages, and it tells him more about Hogwarts, like setting the expectation and the excitement in Harry's face about going to a school. It's a small scene addition maybe, but I think it'll build a nice world opening for Harry. And I think there's also a little bit elements there where they missed out some scenes in the leaky cauldron where everybody knew who Harry was. And it's a huge contrast to how the Dursleys treated him. So people coming up shaking his hand and conversations with him. That would be a nice addition. I think also moving along throughout Diagon Alley, it'd be nice to see some of more of the shops, a bit more of the environment, how things are going about. We kind of jump to Gringotts and there's goblins. The film shows us a glimpse of Diagon Alley, but the book paints a richer picture for us. So there's more detail in the book. The shops selling cursed telescopes, owls screeching in cages stacked to the ceiling, wizards arguing about cauldron thickness regulations. It's not like it's fantasy, it's not like it's a magical world, it's actually a living, breathing place with normal activity that you would see in like a market. So it's really exciting to get a little bit more of insight in that. I think they should include that. There's a number of stores which are included in the book which we don't get to see in the movies. Will the HBO series help us out here? The Gringotts Visiting Bank. Yep, it's a bank for the Wizarding World. Gringotts, said Hagrid. The safest place in the world for anything you want to keep safe. Except maybe Hogwarts. So goblins are known for their distrust of wizards. There's like a bit of a feel there. And their fierce protection of treasure. So that's a little bit about the people that look after the bank. Gringotts has hidden vaults deep underground, accessible only by high-speed cart. Hopefully in the new HBO series we see a lot more of that entry point and how those tunnels look. It was amazing to see that. Harry has a vault in Gringotts where his money's stored from like his parents. That was number 687. Fact check me on that, I'm sure it's 687. The high security vault is for Harry's belongings, but then Hagrid visits. It's that day, the vault is 713, which housed the Philosopher's Stone. So it's nice to see that they're in quite close proximity. Like the stone was only What? That was interesting. That the Philosopher's Stone is quite close to that. I like that. I wonder if the show will show more about the Gringotts politics, like the Sword of Gryffindor, and touching on that fact of the goblins' rebellions. The storyline there is quite good that could be built upon. I think that's like a bit of foreshadowing and a long game move for later episodes. I think HBO really has a chance to bring this whole place to life. It's a full magical society. Ollivanders, wand shop where Harry gets his wand. So as a quote from Ollivander's shop there, Mr. Ollivander, "I remember every wand I've ever sold, Mr. Potter." Let me know if I did a good job at that. So Harry's wand is 11 inches. Holly Phoenix Feather shares a core with Voldemort's wand. So I like what they did there. That's like a nice connection in the writing in the movie. Like the fact that they mentioned that was very good, because now we know that if there's ever a duel between the two, it's going to be difficult to see who's going to be the winner. And maybe they can use each other's, possibly. Garrick Ollivander is considered the best wand maker in Britain. Interesting, that's a fact, trivia. The shop's slogan on Ollivanders is "Makers of Fine Wands since 382 BC. There's a Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions. If you're down Diagon Alley, make sure you check that one out. There's a shop for wizarding robes and Hogwarts uniforms. There's a quote from there. "That will be Madame Malkin's robe shop. You'll get uniforms there, Hagrid." Harry meets Draco Malfoy here for the first time. Will we see that in the HBO series? I don't know, it'd be nice to see that first meet. The shop also makes dress robes and formal wear used in the Yale Ball. So the Goblet of Fire yet to come. Seems like miles away, but once we get into these, and if you binge these episodes, it's going to be like, what? We're already at the ball? Robes are enchanted to adjust size as needed. So it's almost like, you know, when there's the jacket in Back to the Future and you push the one and the arms. I'm thinking about that. But obviously this is more magical than that. Flourish and Blots is a good shop, which we saw a bit about in the Chamber of Secrets. So that's the main bookshop for scroll books and magical texts. Quote, "And here we have Flourish and Blots, where you'll get your books, Hagrid." Gilderoy Lockhart holds a book signing here in Chamber of Secrets. A bit of trivia there for you. They sell rare books like the Invisible Book of Invisibility, which is impossible to restock because it's invisible. Some books are cursed or dangerous and are chained to the shelves, almost like when they go to the restricted section and it opens a book and that moment, that's quite a magical moment. Ilops Owl Emporium. So this shop specializing in owls sells food and cages too. So obviously you need to have a pet when you go into Hogwarts, so that's one. They brought Harry an owl, a beautiful snowy owl, as white as the snow. So Hagrid gets his birthday gift to Harry, which is Hedwig, and it's a snowy owl. He buys it from Ilops Owl Emporium. Am I saying that right? Ilops. Cottage's Cauldron shop. So this is where they sell the cauldrons and various size differences and metals. So you'll need a cauldron too. Pewter Standard 2, said Hagrid. Did you know a little trivia fact you can get from the cauldron shop? Offers collapsible cauldrons, self-stirring cauldrons, and those made of silver, brass and pewter. So when you're doing some magical stuff, if your cauldron is not thick enough, it could explode, and that's why the Ministry of Magic sets specifications for thickness of cauldron bottoms. Trivia, fun trivia. Cauldrons are essential for potion making at Hogwarts. Slug and Jigger's Apothecary. So sells potion ingredients and supplies. So it's like an essential place if you're doing magic. There's a quote from that. They passed a shop with barrels of slimy stuff outside. Slug and Jigger's Apothecary. They stock in this store. They stock dried nettles, dragon liver, horn of bicorn, and powdered root of asphodel. You know what that is? The old Snape special. The smells in the shop include rotten eggs and bad cabbage. So what can you expect to smell when you get into that store? You'll smell rotten eggs and dried cabbage. Some of the ingredients are highly regulated by the ministry that are stocked in Slug and Jigger's apothecary. We've got Wiseacre's wizarding equipment. So they sell magical instruments like telescope and scales. Next, they visited Wiseacre's wizarding equipment to buy a telescope and a set of brass scales. Also sells hourglasses, compasses, magnifying glass, and enchanted measuring devices. You can whip out a tape measure and it'll automatically tell you it. Wait, is that similar to the one he uses to measure the... Okay, remind me of that moment. Who was it? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure someone takes out a tape measure and it comes down and it goes back up again. It was the lady in pink, which I don't like very much. And she measured the short professor that does the name is on the tip of my tongue. Dolores Uxbridge. Yes, that's her. And the professor, the short one that she measured up to see if she's doing that. Yeah, you know what I mean. Sometimes I have these mind blanks, so you have to fill in the blanks for me there. Okay, so Wiseacre's, these instruments are used in astronomy and potions classes that they sell in the visiting equipment shop. The shop reappears in the video games and Visiting World theme parks. Quality Quidditch Supplies is a store that functions as a Quidditch gear and broomstick store. Is that the one he gets the Nimbus 2000? He stared through the window at broomstick. It was a Nimbus 2000. So the Nimbus 2000 was the fastest broom on the market in 1991. So if the HBO series follows this, will we have the same? I'm sure we will, because looking at the pictures, they're kind of setting it in that era. Later stocked the firebolt which Harry gets in Prisoner of Azkaban. And Ron Weasley dreams of owning a broom from here in the Chamber of Secrets. Those were some of the stores in Diagon Alley mentioned in the book. How many of these will make it into the HBO series? I'm hoping for at least half, just to get a little bit of a feel about Diagon Alley. It's magical to see some of these shops and these memories that they stir up, like Wiseacre's shop, and you're getting measuring tools, and then, you know, all this is amazing. From time to time I do glance at my screen here. I've got my laptop and I've got the book as well, so I normally like to refer through the book just to see what's mentioned in the book. Madame Malkin's is a key element that was kind of missed out in the movies. It was in the book, so that's where the Draco first kind of meetup happens. So one key difference between the book and the film, Harry meets Draco in the robe shop, not on the train. So is that a good place? Is that where they should meet? What do you think? I feel like episode 3, bringing that to a bit of a close. Best place would be the last few the one picking Ollivanders. The one chooses the wizard, Harry. Slow pan of Ollivanders' shop showing the layout. That scene was very good in the film. I liked it. So I think, will Ollivanders' one speech be larger? Will they stick to the same? It'll be interesting to see what they could do there. I think by the time I get to episode 8, I might be crushing everything into one episode. I just want everything to be a little bit longer, a little bit timed out. The book goes through the details very nicely. It's just, can we keep that speed? We'll have to find out. I might have to put some bonus episodes in the end of this, which HBO probably are not going to do. That's my breakdown of episode 3. So we kind of get to a point where he's got his wand. Next time we're heading over to board the Hogwarts Express. We're going to meet the famous trio and the sorting hat ceremony. I think that's what should be in the next episode. If you haven't already done so, let me know in the comments, what would you like to include? I've glossed over some of the scenes that already have been included, but I want you to let me know what you think should be there. You'll see the next episode in the series here. I'll see you on that.